Yikes.
What's up?
Let's head to sex talk. Want to see your body make it last? I've been listening to a lot of Megan Thee Stallion recently because she's a fucking icon, and Tory Lanez can go to hell for shooting her in the foot. A piece of fucking shit.
Did Tory Lanez get in trouble for that?
No, because Megan didn't tell the police right away what happened because she like didn't want to be a snitch. And like, okay, this falls into a whole different thing about how like black people have aversion to the police, and you know everyone's blaming her like, well, why the fuck do you say anything? And she went on live, was like, I didn't want nobody to get in trouble because like the cops pulled up. You see people like me looking like me get shot by cops all the time, so I just wanted the situation to go away. But now obviously like she's regretting not saying something because now it's making it harder for her to get charges put against them for shooting her in the foot, which he did. And people think she's lying, and she like posted a picture online saying a picture of her bullet wound, like, hey, I got fucking shot. And then she posted like the text messages that like Tory sent her like the day after, which was like a weird thing to do after you shoot somebody, is to text them, say, hey, I'm sorry, I was just really drunk. I know you're not gonna answer me, but my bad. It's like it's such a fuckboy answer. That's a serious situation.
Right? That's annoying.
But hey, welcome back to Bruh's Murder. This week I am Sinead O'Connor.
I am a bag of hippies, which are organic chickpea snack. That's all. I'm a bag of snacks.
I'm drinking a Sex on the Beach cocktail that I bought, like pre-made. And honestly, let me tell you right now, this shit bumps.
Does it?
Like, it just tastes like being back in the club. Like, I sipped it and I just felt someone step on my foot. I just felt...
Is there like liquor in it, or is it like like a malt liquor?
No, it's vodka, rum. The word is everything in the fucking Sex on the Beach.
Oh, it's a Sex on the Beach. I saw the thing. I was like, huh, where's she going? I saw the picture. Wow.
My room. Go to my room.
I see. I'm drinking a beer. I've been wanting a beer.
I've been getting too bloated. But hey, welcome back to Bruh's Murder, where we talk true crime. Music,
of color.
True crime of color. We listen
Boy,
to music, and I give you
slipping.
Too much information about myself.
Yeah.
So I know that you have like a thing this week. So I want to do like my case first. It's kind of shorter. Yeah. Let me just we've been talking about child deaths a lot.
Yes.
And I don't want that all to be the only thing we talk about. But guess what? I'm gonna be doing it again. Because this is about Amiya Braxton. In this case, reading the case pissed me off, and then reading how a similar situation happened like a short time afterwards, and the reaction to that situation versus this one made me even madder. So I'll go through the whole timeline of events, because Amiya Braxton was a young child who was hit by a car getting off of her bus, and the woman who hit her has yet to face justice whatsoever. Like, nothing.
That's so annoying. Like, how does that even happen? Like,
I'll tell you how it happened. So, on October 4th, 2016, Amiya Braxton was stepping off her school bus in front of her home when Karen Michelle Carpenter, say it again, fucking Karen, veered her SUV down the shoulder to go like around the school bus, and not around it to where as though it was on the side where like you wouldn't hit a child. She drove up the shoulder, like onto Amiya Braxton's family's lawn to go around it and hit Amiya Braxton.
What?
And killing her instantly. So in like the same like when this happened, like this brief split second that it happened, before Amiya was hit by the car, she saw the car coming and was able to turn around and push her little brother back into the bus, saving him from getting hit. So like her last act that she did was like an act of heroism, this little girl. Like she wanted to save her brother and was able to push her brother out the way so he didn't get hit.
Whoa.
And I was scratch that last bit. She didn't die instantly. She actually died 8 days later, which was before her 8th birthday in the hospital. Her parents were actually planning to have like a big, huge birthday celebration for her, but wound up planning her funeral.
Oh dear, dude. I can't imagine.
Yeah, and this happened in Potomac County, Mississippi. And according to the superintendent of the school, approximately 15 children were also on the bus and witnessed the incident and like needed severe counseling after that, because that was a traumatic incident for them, watching their classmate die.
Yeah.
So it was decided in September 2017 and January 18th by a grand jury that they would not indict Karen Michelle Carpenter for Amiya's death.
Why?
Well, they didn't really give a reason why, but the Braxton family believes that the grand juries didn't indict Karen because the district attorney, John Whittle, like, he briefed 2 separate grand juries and like kind of downplayed everything.
Okay.
And was like, Karen didn't intend to kill Amiya, it just kind of happened. And it was like, she still needs to be held responsible, even though it just...
Where's the accountability? Like, did anything happen to her?
I'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
So, like the family says too, like, it doesn't matter what the intent was. Like, it's not relevant. She broke a traffic violation. It was a traffic violation. You're supposed to stop. When a school bus stops, that fucking stop sign goes up, you're supposed to stop. It's the law. It's called Nathan's Law. Yeah. Nathan's Law is a thing. You're supposed to stop 10 feet from a bus stop. So she didn't do that, obviously. So now, meanwhile, and so that all happened. They didn't indict her. Family's trying to fight that to get her charged because she's not getting charged. A year later, 2 years later, 2018, a boy named Dylan Thomas, 9 years old, got hit by a motorist in the exact same way.
What?
Same thing happened.
Was it Karen?
It wasn't Karen. It was a different guy.
Okay, I was going to say, fucking Karen.
But unlike Amiya, this white child, Dylan Thomas, when he was hit, the person who hit him was smacked with the full extent of the law and charged with aggravated assault. And like, those charges actually got upgraded too. And he spent like 2 years in prison.
What?
Yeah. And he 2 years out of the 20 he could have got. And he got out May 2020. And like nearly 4 years after Amiya's death, Karen still has not received not even a ticket for driving around that school bus. Like, when I say nothing happened to her, nothing happened to her.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I have a cousin that like went around a school bus, and like the school bus had a camera on it, and they took a picture of it, of his license plate and him in the car, and they sent it to his house, and he got a ticket.
And it's not like this is like an older thing that happened like the fucking 90s. This happened in 2016.
That's fucking wild. Like, how do you like run over a kid
and just walk away from
them? And yeah, like if they didn't get in trouble, I would imagine Karen is probably feeling like shit because she killed a little girl.
I don't know how much if she felt any type of guilt, she would be doing everything she can to atone for it with that fucking family. Yeah. And if that would be like submitting yourself and say, hey, charge me, like, fuck, I did something bad. I like to need to pay something for this. Like something. And they're still petitioning around online to help out with this. I'll link the website. It has a list of like John Whittle's number, all these different jurors, like the judges' numbers, grand jury's numbers, like people we can call, everything.
Everyone.
I like the family's website, and you can just email these people. I sent a shit ton of emails the other day.
Did the family get anything out of it?
Nothing at all.
Besides their burying their daughter.
Yeah, no, nothing. They got nothing at all.
Wow.
It doesn't. They haven't said that Karen even reached out to them to like apologize or show remorse.
Call the cops on them.
Nothing happened to her. Yeah. So I'll be linking the website and the show notes so you can just go send some very angry emails to these fucking politicians and judges to hold these women accountable. You can go sign a goddamn petition, keep the name alive, justice for Amiya Braxton. And this is bullshit. And this bullshit more so that a white child also unfortunately died in the same circumstances, but was rightfully served justice
immediately. It seemed like
immediately. So why wasn't Amiya given the same like better justice handled on a silver platter? Don't know, but we're waiting. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
It's bullshit.
That's straight garbage, dude. I can't believe like stuff like that happens, and I'm pretty sure it's probably more common that stuff like that probably does happen. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah, because the people probably are, well, most likely are all getting like charged and held accountable for like doing that shit. Because like no one's, it's a kid, save the goddamn kids and give the kids fucking justice.
Right? Like, come on, like they're children. Like, I hate when kids like get their lives taken from them. Like, out of senselessness.
I just hope that like every day Karen wakes up and looks in a mirror and just thinks, yep, there's a child killer lurking back at me.
Yeah, I would hope so. Like, but again, they never did anything.
I would have at least,
or she still hasn't done anything.
Pay some type of, I don't know, and pay for the fucking funeral at least.
Yeah, at least that. The least you can do, or apologize to the family. I don't know. Did she?
No,
that's crazy.
Nothing on her website mentioned her apologizing to them, or even trying to reach out.
Stupid. Like, that's so annoying.
But yeah, that's my angry case. So let's segue into Battle getting angry.
Yeah, it's an angry one. I'm sorry and not sorry at the same time, but like, I don't even have a tidbit about myself right now. Typically, I have a tidbit and I want to say something interesting about myself, but I'm not going to this time because it has been... No, I'm not interested. It's been one of those days. It's been one of those weeks. And like, it's shitty. I've done a lot of like learning and dissecting of something that we're dealing with now, which is racism, and have been dealing with for a long time. And before I actually jump into it, I want to say, like, I do not condone drinking and driving because I've lost family that way, and you just shouldn't do it. Like, call someone.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Like,
get an Uber.
I've lost like family. I've lost 2 family members because a drunk driver hit them and he got like 4 years in prison and he's still alive. But don't drink and drive. But what I'm going to talk to you now about is Rodney King, or that's who I'm talking about now, is Rodney King. And before we do that, I want to say a few things about racism, because racism, we know, is a belief that a race is a fundamental determinant of human traits and capacities, and the racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. But also, racism is the systemic oppression of a racial group to a social, economic, and political advantage of another. And I'm pointing that out because I think there's a lot of racism that lies within Rodney King and what happened to Rodney King. And we talk about like systemic racism all the time, and racists and racism. I want to point out that I think while we can definitely be prejudiced as black people, it's hard for black people to be racist, because in the second definition of what racism is, talking about the systemic oppression of a racial group because of like their social, economic, and political advantage, that implies like there's ownership or influence of a socio-economic group through a political advantage. And if you look at back in the history of the United States, black people really didn't have ownership to a lot of stuff. I mean, in the 60s, we were still struggling for the right to vote without any type of test to vote before. Or in the 60s, we were still struggling with trying to get the rights to vote without having to go through any type of test to make sure that we can read or write.
Yeah.
Like, so
literacy tests before you could actually vote, which was like done just so poor black people couldn't vote.
Right. So in the sense that racism or systemic racism is something that oppresses racial groups, black people can't be systemically racist. Just throwing that out there. Get mad. Whatever. But we're going back to the case now. You're probably wondering, why Rodney King? Why now? Well, because people know about Rodney King. Yeah, they know like, oh, something happened to Rodney King, but not a lot of people know about Rodney King. So here we go.
I'm one of those people. Don't judge me.
Oh, you're good, dude. You're completely fine. It's like I've met a lot of people that don't know who Rodney King is, or they know who he is, but they don't know what happened to Rodney King. Yeah. Yes, and it fucking sucks.
It was the same thing with like Black Wall Street until like The Watchmen came on HBO. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is real." I was like, "Yeah."
Black people, money.
You got firebombed by the police? Yes, we did. Happened in Philadelphia too.
What's going on? So, here we go. Rodney King was born April 2nd in 1965. And he was just a black man. He did have some run-ins with law from here and then, and the moments before what happened to him, he was running from the police. So, because of a prior charge that he had. March 3rd of 1991, he was speeding through LA trying to evade cops because he was on parole for a robbery charge. But it wasn't just that, but he was also drinking and driving, which he later admitted, but like that was the biggest reason why he ran, was because he was on parole and he was drinking and driving. He didn't want to get caught, but he eventually got caught, even though he was like in a high-speed chase. Which is it's good that he was caught because no one died. However, the outcome was still tragic. So when he was actually finally stopped by police, the cops forced him out of the car. And this is where things get really shitty about what happened. And this is also how we've changed how we look at police brutality in a way, because one of the reasons, is because someone recorded this beating that Rodney King went through, which lasted 15 minutes. So Rodney King, he was pulled out of his car, and there were over a dozen cops like around him. 4 of them started to beat the shit out of him for 15 minutes. He was hit 56 times with batons. Even when he was already on the ground, there's a couple of times he tried to get up, but like he wasn't getting up to like try to attack the cops. He was just getting up to get off the ground, and like he'd even make it past his like off of his knees, and they like beat the shit out of him. And if you want to see the video, it's online. It's horrific. And the crazy thing about the video is that the video had a lot of cops just standing there watching. There was like a dozen of them just standing there watching, talking about like him getting his ass beat. Like, I get it.
It was old as time. How many times have we seen this shit? Is it the last like year or two?
Right? It's fucking stupid. Like, there's so many parallels from this until now. And you know, I get it. You shouldn't run from the police. If something's happening, like, okay, yeah, there's a possibility that something bad could happen to you, especially if you're a black person. Go ahead.
So, a thing I always thought was fucking stupid. The police do certain acts, straight up kill people, and say that they did it out of fear. But when someone who's stopped by the police does something out of fear, is reason to kill them.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so you can act out of fear and just straight up murk somebody, but if someone acts out of fear, that's a death sentence.
Yeah, because
bitch.
They're law enforcement and they're fear for their lives.
Because you got nobody told you scary ass to be a cop.
Bro, it's to the point now, like, where when I've been pulled over in the last like few years, like I think it's been like once since I've been. No, it's only the last time it was when I was in the military. It was a while ago. I would roll down all of my windows and keep my fucking hands on the steering wheel because I knew.
So this is why I have on my license plate. I have U.S. Army veteran on it. So I have the license plate, and then I keep my blue cord on my fucking mirror, and I keep an extra PC hat on my dashboard. So they always walk up, they're like, "Oh, you're in the military," and they start fucking licking boot, because that'll disarm them real quick. They'll feel real comfortable with you.
Yeah, I probably should do that, because like whenever that's happened to me, I just roll all my windows down so they can see. You want to see my shit? Go ahead.
Because they'll come up, they'll see this shit. They'll ask for my military ID. I show it to them, and then it's all like talking. So how long you been in? What do you do? Well, I always wanted to join, but I couldn't get you up. Shut the fuck up. Give me my fucking ticket and let me go.
Right. But like I said, don't run from the cops and don't drink and drive, because we know how that ends. But also, if you're getting arrested, or if you did something like stupid, you at least have the right, the inalienable human right, to be treated as a person and to stand a fair trial. Would you disagree, or do you agree? Like, right?
That don't always happen, but I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. But after this, like, Rodney King, he suffered from skull fractures, broken bones, broken teeth, and he also suffered from permanent brain damage. Like, he was, like, it was bad. Like, it sucked. He had to have reconstructive surgery.
Who paid for that?
We'll get there. So, like, you know,
I'm sorry. I'm just getting mad thinking about everything.
On top of Rodney getting his ass beat, he was eventually like charged for driving under the influence. Which, okay, I get it. Yeah, he did it wrong. He did wrong by driving under the influence. He was accountable for that.
You got him on that one, but at what cost?
And the 4 cops, you're probably wondering, what about the 4 cops? Were they what happened with them? Well, they were charged with excessive use of force. However, in criminal court, they were acquitted. Like,
you know what?
Yeah. I just want everyone, like, if you want to pause this right now and go watch that Rodney King beating, like, you see for yourself, like, if you think they deserve to be acquitted. Like, then again, I don't know. Like, do they? But yeah, whatever. Like, they were acquitted, but 3 months later, they were indicted on federal charges for violating Rodney King's civil rights, which, by the way, is punishable up to 10 years. Guess how long they got?
2.
No, 30 months. Oh, yeah, 2. 2 years. 2 years and something. Yeah. 30 months.
I've been doing this true crime shit for a little bit now, so I'm good at guessing. I'm good at guessing jail times.
30 months. And it's just stupid, but it's not over. What happened next is very similar to what happened now, because there were protests, there was riots, there was looting, the whole jazz. It was like terrible. Like, I remember this as a kid, like when this happened, which is pretty crazy in my opinion. And you're probably wondering, okay, why talk about Rodney King? Like I said before. And I want to talk about Rodney King because I recently
shit still ain't sweet.
Exactly. It's not sweet. It's still the same shit. I had a conversation with a white man in his 50s, and he told me that he has never seen white on black racism. And I'm like, oh, word, bro? Like, I'm 30, and I remember watching the news years later. It was like 94, 95. I was like 6 years old or something then. I remember watching like documentaries about the LA riots because of what happened to Rodney King. Like,
he said he's never experienced or seen white people being racist to black.
Yes.
In my 24 years, I couldn't even count on my hands how many times a person has called me the N-word with a hard R.
My blood has been boiling since. I've been so uneasy because when something like this happened, like Rodney King, it sucked. He was eventually like awarded, I think, $3.8 million to cover medical bills and for pain and suffering. But like, this case changed a lot of things for what is happening now. Like, this was one of the first like documented, like, it's like he had a big fucking camera out on his shoulder recording this shit, like, oh shit, yeah, we're gonna catch this shit now, like we're doing now. Like with our phones. We have our cell phones to document this stuff. And by the way, if you don't know about it, you need to download Mobile Justice, which is a
ACLU app.
that you can record and upload stuff that is happening to you
straight up to the cloud.
So
even if they take your phone, or your phone gets destroyed, your phone battery dies, ain't shit getting lost.
Right?
If that happens to you, guess what? People can still access that video.
Yeah, and why did I say at the beginning it's hard for black people to be racist, systemically racist? Because the judge that presided over this case was a white judge that pretty much let them go. And when there was riots and people actually like started to like, okay, let's chill out, come together, let's march to the courthouse and demand it to be overruled. She's like, no, the fuck not. It's going to be overruled. It's going to stay the same. And this is my ruling. And that's how it's going to be. So fuck that. Like, if you're able to impact not just one person, but an entire community of people because of the color of their skin, that is systemic racism and that needs to stop. And that is my case. Thank you.
Hey, man. I almost says, you know what? Because this sex on the beach got me feeling hot. I was about to say some shit, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it PG, keep it cute.
Kind of PG. We see that.
Semi-PG. PG, what, 13, I guess?
Yeah, we could say fuck once. And there it is. That's the only one you could say.
I think we said it more than that, but I'll just...
Oh.
We'll fix that in post. Oh, wait, no, we can't. We don't have the capabilities.
What? But thanks everyone for listening.
We're all real to real here.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah, we're live to tape.
Yeah.
So, no. Yeah, America sucks right now. Well, it has been sucking for a while. And now everyone's just more privy to how much it sucks for other Americans.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world.
And if you don't, one last thing. If you don't think that there is that systemic racism is a problem in the United States, our founding fathers have said so many times, all men are created equal. We're, whatever. What they're missing from that is all white men are created equal.
You forgot that last part. It's how they like to forget to mention.
Because don't forget,
said more than that shit.
Like, it took forever for women to get rights to vote, black people to get rights to vote.
I'm about to say that women's suffrage shit was mainly for the white women because they wasn't really campaigning for the black ones.
Right? I'm just saying, like, there's obviously major disparity between what's happened in our past, and it's not saying that, like, I hate white people. No, I don't. I think we need to come together with white people and come up with a solution to where the system also benefits us.
Works for
as black
everyone.
People. Like,
and I feel like people are like, a lot of white people, especially the conservatives on Facebook, just act like everything's sweet and these things aren't happening and we're just like making it up. I always like have to laugh at it because it's like, how are you so blind? Like, I feel like you're being willfully blind to it. You just don't want to accept it.
Right? Yeah. It's okay. Like, humility is fine. And
empathy goes a long way.
And quit complaining about you being a police officer and people saying fuck you and all that stuff. Imagine being called a nigger to your face and you can't do anything about it because you can't blend in. I can't take my fucking skin off.
Yeah,
you can take your uniform off. You can take your uniform off. Like, I can't blend in. We can't blend in. Like,
in high school, there was so many times I wished I was like light skinned, just so I could like fit in more. Right? I just be like fucking, because I went like an all white high school. Like, goddamn, if I could just like be just a little bit lighter, it's just so people can stop bothering me.
People don't recognize like how difficult it is to be a blackface in a white country. Like, it's extremely,
or a fucking white community at that. Anyway,
like, it's hard. It's difficult, and luckily, I have a lot of great people that are in my life, and a lot of great people that are standing up because they're seeing what is wrong with our system, and what is wrong with our country, and I appreciate it so much, and thank you.
Again, like, empathy just goes, and that goes for like everything, not just racism. Like,
right.
It literally goes for everything, like fucking sexism, everything. Like, empathy just goes a long way, and like, it doesn't come naturally to everyone. So just try and just your damnedest and put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yes.
And if you see a racist, punch him in a dick and or vagina.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all I got.
That is all I got. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the song.
Yeah, I'm gonna play something that's gonna be lit because this was a sad boy episode. But hey, also remember, make sure that you check us out on our live streams on Get Vokey and our Facebook page. We're also on Red Circle now, a new hosting app. And if you want to donate to us, you can go over, click the link in our fucking show notes, and just go ahead to donation, because that helps. Because we pay for all of our music here. I pay for all the licenses. So you just help keeping us afloat. That'll go a long way. And also, you can sign up for...
Stay sexy. Don't. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Let's not get sued. I don't need that Karen hate. Because them fucking Murderinos, son, they'll come for you.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, and also, we got some exclusive content coming up. You can get the audio versions of our live shows because they don't stay up. They're not going to be staying up all forever. They come down the next day. And if you want to have the audio versions of that, you can just sign up for the exclusive content. It'll be like $1. We're cheap. We're cheap whores.
Yeah, I'll post it up for a real person. Come on.
And check out the merch too, because we got some merch in our everything's in the links. All the links are down there. So just check out the links, see what you like, shop around, and stay fly.
See ya.
Bye. All right.
Vado fuori questo caos, mi manda in paranoia, stampo e faccio un get out. Se corri come me o corri con me, magari io e te lo sai. Potremmo star soli da me, magari stanotte buttarci in spiaggia con un narghile. Vieni con me, cerchiamo un altro club, solo io e te, dai. Oh, sai ci sono cose che non vanno dette, non vanno dette, no, ci sono cose che non vanno dette, non vanno dette, non vanno dette, no, ci sono cose che non vanno dette, non vanno dette, non vanno